have the best one here, Lauren DiMartino from Baltimore. Hey, Lauren, welcome to the show.
Hi, Sean. It's so good to see you today. How's your day going?
Everything is good in South Florida. We having a little bit rain here and there, but it's always sunny. Tell me about Baltimore, like what I should know about Baltimore from somebody who doesn't know Baltimore from Fort Lauderdale.
So, Baltimore is the city center for the Maryland market. So, Baltimore is its own separate beast in comparison to everything else that's going on in Maryland. The huge pull to the Baltimore city market is that there's a huge community of young professionals here who are amazing at like networking, and a lot of people really will work from home.
Okay.
And they are people who are from all different parts of the country, but live here in Baltimore because it's so cheap to live
Oh, yeah.
and there's so much to do.
When you talk about the profession, like, what kind of job, you guys have over there, the opportunities you have there in Baltimore?
Yeah, so the majority of the jobs here are connected with the government. So there's a ton of people who have security clearances that are doing work between here and Washington, D.C. So
Oh,
a large community of people are actually employed in DC, but live here in Baltimore.
key point. So if somebody working in DC, of course, we know DC is very expensive. That's the center of the country, political city. So working in DC and living in Baltimore is a great idea, isn't it?
Absolutely. The average price point in DC is right at like 1.1 to 1.2 million, depending on what part of town you want to live in. But the average price point here in Baltimore City is right around 300,000. So you can get a lot of bang for your buck in
Wow.
comparison. And on top of that, if you want, a lot of people will actually come here and they initially will move into the city and then from the city move into the suburbs. So they'll move into Baltimore County or Harford County or Anne Arundel County. There's so many suburbs that people will move into so that they can better the lives for their children because the schools in the city they're interesting in comparison to the standard school systems that you would see in the counties.
Wow, that's great. Now, how
Yeah.
long is the drive from, say, Baltimore to DC?
That drive is exactly 1 hour,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
no, traffic wise, it can vary. So I've been in traffic at times up to 2 hours.
Okay.
If you time things correctly, like if you leave at like 4 o'clock in the morning, it's only going to take you maybe 45 minutes to get
Okay.
there.
Gotcha.
Where if you were to leave at 8 o'clock on the dot, it's going to be 2 hours.
Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
so ask Google, when he's busy. But that's good. So that's very good to know. And also, there's a lot of people. They are working they're kind of like a hybriding. They
Yeah.
maybe have to go to the office twice a week, and then rest of the week they can work from home. This is perfect for them. So
Yeah.
now let's talk about a little bit of the lifestyle. So if I move to Baltimore, when it's come to the culture, like the food or some kind of like activities, what I'm looking at.
So as far as the culture here in Baltimore, I like to think of it as a very like artsy culture.
Oh,
So you're going to see tons of murals painted around the city. Like that is one of the things that I really think is just so interesting about Baltimore. And there's what I've noticed is before you see a lot of industry, you see a lot of art. And that's how any transition into an area works. Baltimore is like the hub for art. And then, oh my gosh, the food. There's so many restaurants. I am such a foodie. I feel like my Instagram page should be like the foodie realtor or something associated
you
with
should.
food. My one of my favorite places to go, we go every week for trivia, is our house. It's right in Hamden, which is a community it's very calm. It doesn't really feel like you're in the city center because it's very walkable, but in that small area, there's our house our house is in Remington, but then there's Hamden, which has food market and Poppy's Cuisine. Like
Wow.
there's so many amazing restaurants.
See, food, art,
Yeah.
affordable. What else you need? Now, when you're talking about affordability and the opportunity to work in DC and stay there, so definitely you guys have a huge investor market, don't you?
Absolutely. So there's certain zip codes like 21215, which is the Park Heights area. We're seeing a ton of investors in that area who are really changing the community because in Baltimore we have an issue with the number of abandoned buildings. So right now in the market, or right now in our area, the population is sitting around 600,000. So, real estate agents and investors, we are working hand in hand to repopulate the Baltimore area because of the fact that Baltimore as a city is made to hold about 1 million people. So, with the number of people not being at that million, taxpayers who are sitting inside of the city limits, they're actually absorbing the additional tax benefit or tax costs from the city not being completely full. So something that we're really working on because in the city, like people are being taxed at a pretty high rate.
Let me ask you something about, as we're speaking, so there's definitely a lot of family people move into your neighborhood, in your area because they work. So what about the school system? How do you kind of like a discuss, grade them, or what do you like about them?
Yeah. So in Baltimore City, this I would not suggest someone who has like a family to move directly into the city unless they're going to move into an area like maybe Roland Park or Guilford.
Okay.
Those are where the best schools are. But a lot of the people that do live in the city will send their children to private schools just so that they have the best education available.
Okay.
Now, if you are open to going outside of the city, which a lot of people are, the public school systems in Harford County are still rated extremely high. Those are A and B level schools. So those are very, very good schools. In the county, in Baltimore County, I would definitely suggest being a little bit farther on the outskirts, like in Pikesville, Milford Mill, something that's a little bit farther out just so that you can get the best possible school or the best possible education for your children. But a lot of people do put their children in private schools here.
Now, let's talk about the little bit about the hobbies. Like in Fort Lauderdale here, over here, like biking, fishing, boating. We have beach life, and so. Other than the art, what other things you see over there as a hobby, a weekend life? What are the things you guys have?
So here I myself I joined a running club. So there's a huge running community. And it's just because of the young professionals that live here. But there's tons of parks out in like Perry Hall. So there's a lot to do outdoors. So you can go hiking, you can go swimming. There's private pools here so that if you can join a private pool. I'm a part of a private pool myself and I love it. Like, I'm constantly out, having a good time. But with Maryland as a state, Maryland's one of those areas where you can, during the winter, go skiing, during the summer, go to the beach, or if you want to be in the city center, you can do that as well. So for things to do, there's a never-ending supply of things to do here. Yeah.
Very good. Now we are talking about there are homes $300,000, and so if a family moving in, say, and they want to just start off with a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, decent sized home, so a single family home. What are the price range? Maybe at the suburb, as you mentioned, that a suburb has more like a family life all over the country. Like anytime you go to a city, is more busy life, but suburbs are always good for families to grow, good schools, and so. So what price range you are looking at a starter home?
For a starter home, I wouldn't budget anything under 400,000 for a single family home. Now, if you're wanting to be in an area like Columbia, then I wouldn't look at anything under 6 because you're just not going to find the same quality of home.
Gotcha.
But there's lots of new construction homes out here that can get you a lot of bang for your buck. So you'd probably be right at the 5 range. If you're right in the 5, then you can get something in Harford County and Baltimore County or even down to like PG County. But depending on the county, it's going to be larger or smaller.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why you call us.
Yeah, definitely. That's good to know. But that's normally at an average price for a single family home throughout the country anyway. So, and just for our audience, just to let you guys know, this is almost mid 2023. So if you are watching this video years later, so this is not the price for So 2023 is different. 2022 was different. So that's the price we're looking. In Baltimore, getting a decent size, nice, maybe 3 or 4 bedroom homes. So that's great, Lauren. A lot of great information you provided. To reach out to you, what will be a phone number, your website, or email?
So you can reach me at 443-648-9122. But you can find me everywhere on social media. Just Google me or type me in anywhere. Lauren.DiMartino, DiMartino. So you can find me, and I am excited to be working with you. I love the Baltimore area.
Thank you very much for providing all those insight. And the reason we are doing this, this video for our audience is you get to know here what Google cannot tell you. This is the inside scoop, Baltimore. I didn't even realize that, how close it is to DC. And if somebody is, working like some days, maybe 2 days or 1 day or 3 days has to go to the office, this is perfect. You can save so much money from your day-to-day cost. So that's great, actually. Lauren, thank you very much for joining. Hey, guys, give her a call because she's the best in Baltimore. Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks, Sean.